Hello, I'm Dr. Reddy, an environmental engineer and a red panda scientist. Have you ever seen a river or lake suddenly turn green during the summer? Almost like someone poured green paint over the water. Most people assume it's just pollution, but it's actually more than that. Today, we're going to take a closer look at this mysterious green substance. It's called an algal bloom. Before we dive into algal blooms, let's first talk about algae, stars of the show. Algae are living organisms that make their own energy through photosynthesis. They use sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to produce oxygen and organic matter. They might look like plants at first glance, but biologically, they are quite different. Unlike plants, algae don't have true roots, stems, or leaves. Most of them live in water and absorb nutrients through their entire surface. They come in all shapes and sizes, from tiny single-celled algae like chlorella that can only be seen under a microscope, to large seaweeds like kelp and wakame found in the ocean. Algae are the primary producers in aquatic ecosystems. They form the base of the food chain and help generate energy for other organisms. They might be small, but they're incredibly important. Now, the kind of algae that causes algal blooms is a bit unusual. They're called cyanobacteria. Even though the word algae is in their name, cyanobacteria are actually bacteria. They perform photosynthesis and spread across the water's surface. But they are, strictly speaking, bacteria. It's pretty unique, isn't it? Photosynthesizing bacteria. That's why they're often called photosynthetic bacteria. The most common types are microcystis and anabina. These cyanobacteria thrive in warm, nutrient-rich water and can grow explosively, sometimes covering the water's surface within hours. What's even more concerning is that some of these cyanobacteria can produce toxins. That's a serious threat to both human health and aquatic ecosystems. So, what exactly is an algal bloom? An algal bloom happens when cyanobacteria grow rapidly and spread across the surface of a body of water, turning it green. That green water you often see in the summer. It's full of microscopic algae, especially cyanobacteria, like microcystis, which grow at an alarming rate. It can look like a green carpet stretched across the water. These blooms tend to form under specific conditions. First, high temperatures, usually in the summer. Second, high levels of nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus. And third, calm, stagnant water with lots of sunlight. When all of these factors come together, cyanobacteria can grow explosively and take over the environment. But why exactly are algal blooms a problem? Is it just because they look bad? No, it's much more than that. When algal blooms occur, they block sunlight from reaching underwater plants. Those plants can't perform photosynthesis, and eventually, they die. As they decompose, they consume oxygen from the water. When oxygen levels drop too low, fish and other aquatic animals can suffocate. That's why fish die-offs often follow major blooms. And as I mentioned earlier, some cyanobacteria produce harmful toxins. A well-known example is microcystin, a toxin that can damage the liver in humans and animals. So algal blooms aren't just a matter of dirty water. They're a serious environmental issue that can affect both nature and people. Algae are naturally important members of aquatic ecosystems, but human activities have created conditions that disrupt that balance. Cyanobacteria are especially sensitive to rising temperatures and water pollution. Algal blooms may be a natural phenomenon, but they've grown worse as a result of human influence. In the next episode, I'll be sharing more about environmental science topics you may have heard of before, but never fully understood. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for the health of the planet. This has been Dr. Reddy, your friendly red panda environmental engineer. Thank you so much for watching.